I was buried in paperwork at the office that afternoon when my phone buzzed. Without really thinking, I glanced at it, a social post from my wife. The caption hit me like a punch. Some husbands think they can't be replaced. At first, I shrugged it off as one of those vague quotes people share, but the timing, the phrasing, the brazen tone all dug under my skin. Why would she post that? And why now? I tried to drag my attention back to work, but the line kept looping in my head like a taunt. That evening, she acted perfectly normal, maybe too normal. Asked about my day, served dinner, smiled like nothing had happened. I didn't bring the post up. Instead, I decided to watch, to see where this track would lead. Something told me those words weren't harmless. Over the next few days, things shifted. She was glued to her phone, grinning at messages, locking the screen when I walked by. Nights out with friends multiplied, and the excuses got flimsy. One night, she said she was with her sister, except I knew her sister was out of town. That's when suspicion hardened into certainty. I installed a tracking app on her phone. While she slept, it wasn't something I imagined doing, but I needed answers. The next evening, I watched her location ping at a hotel across town. My heart hammered. I knew I had to face the truth, even if it broke me. Instead of bursting in angry, I stayed calm. I gathered evidence. Screenshots of posts, messages, location logs. It hurt to collect it. But I wanted to be more than a shouting husband. I wanted proof I couldn't be argued out of. When she came home that night, hair messy and excuses thin, I smiled and said I was tired. Inside, I burned. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, thinking how long she'd been betraying me while I worked to give her comfort. The next weekend, I faked an urgent work trip and left early with a suitcase in hand. But I didn't go to the office. I parked near the hotel she used. Hours later, she arrived, put together and glowing in a way I hadn't seen for years, holding hands with a man I didn't know. It felt like a blade, but anger quickly sharpened into something else. Revenge. I didn't confront them. I planned. Quietly, I met a lawyer, laid out everything, and handed over the files. Most assets were my name, so my leverage was stronger than I'd thought. My lawyer assured me I could protect what was mine and turn the situation to my advantage. For days, I kept acting normal, kinder even, compliments, small gifts, pretending everything was fine. I wanted her completely off guard. She laughed at my sudden sweetness, convinced she'd fooled me, unaware of what was coming. On a calm Friday evening, I made my move. Over dinner, I slid a folder across the table, printed screenshots, hotel receipts, photos I'd taken. She flipped through them and went pale. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. Quietly, I said, "You thought you couldn't replace me? The truth is, you already replaced me, but now you're the one who's about to lose everything." Her hands trembled as she tried to speak, but I cut her off. I told her I'd file for divorce, and that because of her betrayal, she'd come away with nothing. The house, the car, the savings were protected. All she'd have was a man she risked it for. She begged and cried, tried to turn it back on me. Called me cold, distant. Her words didn't matter. She'd made her choices. I'd given years of loyalty, and she'd traded it for a fleeting thrill. Now she'd live with the fallout. A week later, she moved out. I watched her pack, the proud smile gone, replaced by fear and regret. The man she'd cheated with didn't even show up to help. She walked out the same way she walked into that hotel, thinking she gained something better, but actually losing everything. Months went by, and I rebuilt my life. People who'd seen her post whispered that karma had come fast. She'd mocked husbands for believing they were irreplaceable. Now she was the one discarded, by me and by the man she'd risked us for. I moved on with peace. My revenge wasn't loud or violent. It was quiet, precise, and complete.